Hey guys, what is going on? And welcome back to another edition of Flick News, the show here on Flick Direct, where we give you guys the latest happening in entertainment news throughout the week, and then I give you all my personal take on the matter at hand. I'm your host, the problem, and this week, guys, I'm not gonna want when I say this. This week, in terms of movie news, was a pretty slow week actually, because it was Cinemacon week, and unfortunately, I did not go this year. However, my colleagues did go, and if they were here, I should say, for this week's movie news show, they would tell you all about what happened at this week's Cinemacon in terms of the Sony presentation, Disney, Lionsgate, also Universal. Neon didn't have a presentation, but I believe Universal, Paramount did as well, and Warner Brothers, so they could tell you all about what happened this week. But unfortunately, they're not here this week, so there's really not much to go over in terms of Cinemacon movie news. However, there are two things that did happen there. I do want to apologize if this week's movie news show is on the shorter side. However, guys, going on to the first news story this week, guys, this is more of an update on a movie that has been out already for the past, I want to say 2-3 weeks, and that is on the Super Mario Bros. Movie, and that is the box office gross for the movie so far, which is really exciting, knowing that I enjoy the movie personally. And like I said to you guys in our review, if you haven't seen our review of it, guys, the Super Mario Bros. Movie is particularly a great film per se, but I do think it is a fun and solid animated movie. With all that being said, guys, guess the box office gross of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, guys. This movie has officially grossed $1 billion at the box office, and I'm not going to, guys, it doesn't shock me at all, because here's the thing. In case if you guys happen to be a gamer or not, the Super Mario Brothers, whether you're talking about the video game or the franchise altogether, is one of the most popular IPs in really the history of entertainment. I mean, the Mario Brothers, it's just so iconic, and knowing that families have enjoyed this movie so much, and it really shows despite the Rotten Tomatoes score, which personally I don't get. I just want to say congrats to Super Mario Brothers for doing the first game. I believe it's the first video game movie, as far as I'm aware, unless I'm mistaken, to have made over $1 billion. I hope this is a trailblazer for good and more video game movies to come to reach the $1 billion mark. Congrats, Super Mario Brothers, and I'm excited to see the sequel, if there is one. It's time to talk about the things that happened at CinemaCon. First thing of which happened the Sony panel, which again, I was not there, guys, so I cannot personally say. However, there was one particular thing that happened at the Sony panel that did caught my attention, and guess what, guys? That's for the Craven the Hunter presentation. Now, for those of you who don't know what Craven the Hunter is, personally, I don't know much about either, but apparently the first footage was created for Craven the Hunter. Now, this is all that I know about Craven the Hunter. Aaron Johnson plays the title role, and I think it's being directed by DJ Caruso. If not, I'll put the actual director's name here. If not, I'm so sorry, I forgot your name. But apparently, guys, the first footage was shown for Craven the Hunter, and according to what I've heard, guys, this will be Sony's first, at least in recent memory as far as I can aware, their first R-rated film, because apparently, guys, get this, the first footage where Craven the Hunter showed Craven the Hunter apparently biting a guy's nose off, if I'm not reading correctly or not reading it wrong, and spitting in the camera's face with all the blood. And according to Ezra Johnson, when he was asked about the first R-rated movie, he said, and I quote, "Yeah, it will be," which makes me very excited. But I'm curious as to why they waited until Craven the Hunter to do their first R-rated movie, because I personally think that a movie that came out a couple of years ago could have definitely used the R rating, but nonetheless, more of an update than anything else. Was an update that I really want to share, because I saw this and it actually got me really excited to see what they're probably going to do with this movie coming out. I think, is it coming out later this year or early next year? Later this year or earlier next year. Very excited for Craven the Hunter nonetheless. The Flash, guys, had its first screening ever for its world premiere, even though from what I heard, it wasn't a completely done movie as far as I'm aware. I mean, it was a picture locked version of the movie, which means, for those of you who don't know what picture lock means, essentially it's when the full runtime is completely done with, but maybe they have to do a couple of things. And as far as I'm aware, the version that press got to see at Cinemacon this year was a version that didn't quite have completed VFX. And apparently, guys, the first reactions were either very good or absolutely phenomenal. I think I reported that it was reported that The Flash was known as one of the greatest super movies ever made. I mean, this movie was being praised and hyped to no tomorrow, and some of the reactions from Cinemacon were saying, yeah, it lives up to the hype. Some people were saying it was a very good film. I saw a couple of reactions that said but for the most part, the reactions that I saw were either terrific or absolutely outstanding, and it makes me even more excited to see a movie. That it was a movie that before I saw the trailer earlier this year, a couple of months ago, that I was thinking like, you know what, I can take it or I can leave it, and they did release a new trailer, which by the way looks absolutely fantastic. I'm excited for the Flash, and knowing these reactions, it makes me that much more excited. June cannot come soon enough. I am so darn hyped, guys. That's gonna wrap it up for this week's show. Please comment on us below starting off. How do you guys feel about the Mario Brothers movie, or excuse me, the Super Mario Brothers movie being the first, as far as more the first video game movie to gross $1 billion? Also, did you get to go to CinemaCon this week, and what did you think of the Craven Hunter footage description? Or if you didn't see it, what do you think of the description? And finally, what do you guys think of the first reactions of The Flash? Let us know below. I hope you all enjoyed this week's show. If so, please hit that like button, also share, and don't forget the subscribe button and the notification bell if our latest new show goes live. If you guys want to see our previous 2 new shows, please click it right there or right there. And of course, until next new show goes live, we'll see you all next week. Have a wonderful week, guys. Hit like, smash subscribe, and get notified for when our reviews, interviews, and news go live.